Hello and welcome to the podcast. It's remarkable that even now, more than 300 years after his death, a large number of Leibniz's writings remain unpublished. Although his philosophical writings from the 1670s and 1680s have been edited before, sometimes many times before, there are still previously unknown texts waiting to be brought to light. In this new 3-volume edition of Leibniz's philosophical papers, 7 writings appear in print for the first time. There is also other previously unpublished material, including one text that has never before been published in full. In this episode, we'll take a quick look at some of these discoveries. We'll be unearthing Leibniz. Let's start with the Universal Language, Characteristic, Logic, Encyclopedia and General Science volume. This contains 5 previously unpublished writings. The first is a short piece called On Teaching Languages from 1678. Several of the texts in the new edition deal with pedagogy, making this one worthwhile including to deepen our understanding of Leibniz's views on education. In this text, Leibniz applies the principle that the unknown should be blended with the known to facilitate learning. Another previously unpublished piece, written in 1686, is a set of definitions of concepts such as similarity, species, and affection. This text is part of his investigations into sameness and coincidence. He introduces a couple of new symbols here, one for similar and another one for identity or sameness. Incidentally, the translation of another previously unpublished writing on the same topic is on the Leibniz translation site. A third discovery is a brief text called Deleted Remarks on Methods. That's from 1678. As the title suggests, Leibniz later crossed out the entire piece. Despite being short and ultimately discarded, the note shows Leibniz thinking about systematic methods for discovery, a theme that runs through many of his projects. Next comes The Art of Mathematics from 1679. This is an early sketch for the preface to a planned book showcasing mathematical techniques, likely intended as a vehicle for his own mathematical discoveries. Leibniz never wrote the book, though he kept the idea alive for several months after writing this text. It's important because this aborted book idea eventually morphed into Leibniz's general science project. We'll have more to say about this in the video entitled Narrating Leibniz. Perhaps the most unusual of the 5 texts concerns military organization and technical trades. In Formulas for Commands in All the Mechanical Arts, Leibniz proposes that the clear and standardized commands used in military drills could serve as a model for organizing many kinds of practical work. He believed that if trades were governed by precise formulas and instructions, they could be transformed into demonstrative sciences. This idea reflects his larger ambitions to systemize all human knowledge, from philosophy and mathematics to crafts and technology. The second volume of the new edition rounds up Leibniz's writings on metaphysics, natural philosophy, ethics and jurisprudence. And this volume contains another previously unpublished piece from 1678 or 1679. This one deals with the practical study of law. In it, Leibniz identifies the books that a practicing jurist should consult, and he offers advice about legal training. The text connects to one of his early projects, to build a library that would serve as an encyclopedia of practical matters. The third volume is devoted to religion and theology, and it contains yet another newly published text, Protestant Complaints about Roman Catholic Dogmas and Practices from 1685. In this text, Leibniz presents the objections that Protestants commonly raised against the Catholic Church. But he does something interesting. He then replies to those objections from a Catholic perspective. This piece is the first text of a little-known project from 1685 called Apology for Catholic Truth. We'll have more to say about this project in the video Reassembling Leibniz. Finally, the volume includes Leibniz's account of the reunion negotiations that took place in Hanover in 1683. This text hasn't been published in full yet in its original language. Here he recounts the proposals, the debates amongst theologians, and the political tensions that followed. The episode shows Leibniz not only as a philosopher but also as an observer, and sometimes participant, in the religious diplomacy of his time. Taken together, these newly published and newly translated writings remind us that Leibniz's intellectual world was extraordinarily wide. Some texts were carefully prepared, others survive only as fragments, notes, or crossed-out drafts. But each one adds a small piece to the puzzle of understanding how Leibniz thought and worked. More than 3 centuries later, his manuscripts still have the power to surprise us. And that is why editing and translating them remains such a rewarding task. Thank you for your kind attention. In the next episode, we'll look at the long introductory essay in the new 3-volume edition of Leibniz's Philosophical Papers and see what new insights can be found there. We'll be introducing Leibniz.